So as I've always told you guys, I'm always going to keep it 100 with y'all, okay? So I'm replying back to a comment in the video where I was talking about like these big creators saying stuff and not confirming. Well, we have confirmation on the NDA. I was scrolling my FYP and I noticed that Christy Blanchard was in a live with other people that don't have me blocked. So I started screen recording. I have it in a screen recording. I'll post it tomorrow because I'm clocking out for the day. But it has been confirmed by Christy Blanchard that Ken indeed has signed an NDA to protect, quote unquote, their family against basically fighting over the internet because he can't say certain things, but she can. I tell you one thing, it's real pathetic to have to sign an NDA in order to be in a relationship with a person that you left your husband for and had a child with and is trying to raise that child right, but you're so scared for your secrets to come out that your boyfriend has to sign an NDA. That shows a lot of true colors right there, and that kind of shows as well that there's secrets that she holds that she's told Ken that she doesn't want him to repeat. That could also be why she went back with him, because she wanted to make sure he wasn't going to repeat that stuff. What do you guys think? I'll be posting that video tomorrow, so check it out. Her dad does not give a shit. Her dad's really never given a shit. Where do you ever see her dad other than her fangirling over him and the disturbing things she said in her book? Her dad don't give a shit. And an NDA doesn't protect against any kind of usage of funds or money or whatever. An NDA is simply it's a non-disclosure agreement. So he's not allowed to disclose how much money she gives him or disclose any information to anyone. That's all it protects them from. It doesn't protect her from giving him money and vice versa. And I have said this before, I don't believe he came back into her life for the money, because when he was in her life previously, she had money. She had just signed the deal with HBO and just did the whole thing with Dr. Phil. So she had money when the first time they were together. So I don't believe it was for money. I believe 100% it was for attention. That's all he wants is attention. He's seen that Ryan was getting attention and he's like, hey, maybe I want a piece of that pie. He was just dumb enough to take the bait and get her pregnant and do all of that now he's stuck. NDAs run out, and honestly, I thought that he would be a little bit smarter than to do any of that, but obviously not.
Let's talk a little bit about Gypsy Rose Blanchard's sibling. So I had posted a video a while back because people were completely unaware that she had a whole ass another sister and a whole ass brother. Now, the reason we see Mia a lot is you have to remember when all this went down, Mia was still a minor. So she had to be with her parents all the time. That's why she went to premieres with them and all that stuff. But again, my opinion is Mia was raised by Christy Blanchard. So just keep that in the back of your mind whenever you think of Mia, okay? Even though she is someone that is successful, beautiful, and that kind of has a good head on her shoulders, just remember that Christy raised her. That's always a huge red flag, especially her being so young still. Now, Dylan is Mia's full brother. Dylan is from Christy and Rod. And from what I've heard about Dylan, because there's a lot that's been said, because there's a lot of people that are in Dylan's life that talk to a lot of people online. And basically, he didn't ever want any part in this. He actually doesn't really get along with his parents too much. That may be in part to do because he had a full-on business, and allegedly Rod and Christy tried to butt in on him and started asking for money. Again, that's just what I hear. I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what I've heard on the streets of sources, okay? And those sources I never vetted or anything like that. It's just what I've heard. But he was present at the reunion that they went to. I don't know if you guys remember that reunion they went to. He was present there. he has children and he has his own life. And allegedly, he doesn't want his children around Gypsy or around anything she does. So he just stays away. And it seems like he doesn't really get along with his family. So nobody really knows how exactly he is. But like I said, there's people in his circle that talk to people. So there's some things that are very evident. Again, not sure if they're true. Just a little bit of gossip for you. Now, Gypsy's other sister, Nicolette, it's good to keep in mind that Nicolette, Dylan, and Gypsy are all around the same age, meaning Rod was getting around. But Nicolette is one that, now I don't know if this is true or not because I've never really looked into Nicolette too much, but I heard that even Rod didn't know he had another daughter until very later on. And allegedly, this was a whole issue between him and Christy. But this was like a one-night stand, allegedly, and Rod got another girl pregnant, Nicolette's mom. Now, Nicolette is a person that not necessarily wants to stay away from the public eye, but she does want a relationship with Gypsy, which is so disturbing to me considering that she knows what everybody else knows. But for the most part, she has stayed away from like the publicity portion of all of this, and she has met up with Gypsy a few times since she's gotten out of prison. Now, the fact that Gypsy never says, I just want to, be close with my brother and my sister. That's not people that really matter to her, because she can't really use them for anything. She just has to make sure they keep their mouths shut. But it's not saying they know too much, because Mia's Mia. I feel like she kind of keeps to herself away from all of that. And like I said, Dylan and Nicolette kind of stay far enough away to where they know they're not going to get in the mix with some serious shit. But the more you know. Little bit of gossip for you guys. Have a good day. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. So before all of this stuff, people have this narrative that Dee Dee told Rod that he couldn't be around Gypsy and was keeping him at bay because she was keeping him so sick and didn't want Rod to know, right? Or did want him to know, but not to a certain extent, right? It's not what happened. It's my opinion that Dee Dee begged Rod to be around. Rod had already found Christy. He wasn't going to. Not only that, Rod slept with Nicolette while he was with Christy, so, But the fact that Christy didn't want him to have anything to do with Nicolette is the same reason he had nothing to do with Gypsy. The same reason they couldn't go out on vacation and visit her or go and figure out a way to have visitation, because he didn't want to. It was too inconvenient for him. It was too inconvenient for Christy too, because they had 2 kids, well, 1 at the time. He was working all the time. So yeah. And he chose the career he did for a reason, because that man doesn't want to be around any of these crazy ass women, okay? And I don't care what y'all say. I don't know too much about Nicolette, but Christy raised Mia. So keep that in mind. But yeah, he did not want anything to do with Gypsy, as much as he can sit here now with all the money in his pockets and say he did. He didn't. You can't convince me any different. So I wasn't going to bring this up until this morning, and the only reason is because I noticed that Gypsy reposted this young girl's post, and we're going to talk about it. Now, before I get into this, I want you guys to keep in mind that this is a minor, okay? Nobody should be talking, communicating, even encouraging minors in any way, shape, or form, especially if somebody is a convicted murderer who killed their mom. Now, this young girl, she posted a video basically saying, Gypsy, I understand why you did what you did. And basically it was her crying, and she was like in an office or something. I got this sent to me numerous times, and I went and looked at the girl's profile yesterday, and I noticed that she had posted a video, and it was like a letter to her mother. And she talks about how she felt alone, like she felt like she wasn't seen, that her mother was very mean to her. You know, I've had family members be like this on my dad's side. So I know exactly what kind of mom this little girl has, okay? But nothing should ever, ever, ever make you think I should murder this person. Tell people, call CPS, tell them how you're feeling. If you have a trusted family member and or friend, tell them. Call numbers. There's so many resources out there. Don't resort to the internet and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. It looks like to me, and it seems, and this is just speculation, I could be completely wrong, but it looks like to me that Gypsy contacted this minor child. And I believe that's why she was prompted to do the video about the letter to her mom and what she was going through. Now, again, that's speculation, but it certainly seems that way. It certainly seems like Gypsy reached out to her. And even if Gypsy reached out and was being kind and saying, you know, that's not an option, like I wish I had other options, or I wish I did something different, contacting a minor, okay? Contacting a minor that thinks that it's okay what you did to your mother, and she wants to do the same to hers. What Looney Tune fucking world do we live in right now? It's not okay. And this is what us creators talk about, that this needs to be in the mainstream media so it can be explained to kids that it's not okay. Mainstream media is showing literally that it's okay, because they're saying, oh, her mom had Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which, by the way, Dee Dee did not have Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and actually no other mental issues going on in her life other than her diabetes, her onset of cancer, and all the other issues she had medically. She did not have anything mentally going on with her. So this is what we mean by we say we want mainstream media to pick this up. This is my goal, guys. I want mainstream media to pick it up so it can be talked about in a manner where it should be talked about. So then in turn, people show awareness that this was not an escape plan. This was not, oh my God, I'm being horribly abused, I need to leave and she's not allowing me. People need to see that, because that's not what it is. The fact of the matter is that this is influencing youth and grown-ass adults to act like it's okay just to murder someone. Regardless of how they treat you, how you grew up, what mental state you're in, there's no right way to say, okay, it's fine to murder someone. Unless you are in imminent danger and they have threatened your life and you are literally in a battle for your life, there is no reason for it. And Gypsy was not. Her mom never did anything to her other than try to figure out what was going on with her, which now I'm hearing she did have leukemia. Yeah, so everything's just falling apart. This needs to get to mainstream media ASAP.